Welcome to Garden Plants with Jim Putnam. Let's talk Roman Candle Podocarpus. This is Podocarpus macrophyllus Roman Candle. And Roman Candle Podocarpus is an unbelievably beautiful podocarpus. Interesting, the species name macrophyllus means large leaf, and this is definitely not what we would call a large leaf. It's not even large in comparison to other species of Podocarpus. So an odd species name. It's in the Podocarpiaceae, so it's the genus that the plant family is named after. Typically, what we're going to see with these is upright green narrow selections. One called Mackie that's very popular, and lots of others that are used as screening plants. Roman Candle has this beautiful, I almost don't want to call it variegated, it's almost just like these white tips on the plant that are just like beacons. And so the word, Roman Candle is a good name for this, right? Because it looks like a candle basically here in the garden. This conifer is definitely a four-season plant, and so are other Podocarpus macrophyllus as well. They're incredible year-round, have year-round color. This one puts that on a whole new level, right? These are native to Southeast Asia, Myanmar and China and a few other places over in Asia. And this plant family, I think, has about 200 species in it, and I don't know how many genera, something like 20 genera or something. But again, Podocarpus being the main one. This is the one that's kind of hardy here in our Raleigh area. We've been out on the West Coast. A lot of the other Podocarpus species that they'll grow out there are for drier climates, Mediterranean climates, that kind of thing. But this particular species does incredibly well here in the Southeast. You go to someplace like Charleston, you'll see gardens just lined with these because they have that upright, narrow habit. So does this one. This one actually has an upright, narrow habit as well. It'll reach maybe 10 to 15 feet in height and 3 to 4 feet in width. This one may be breaking that pattern a little bit because we've got it in a little more shade than normally you would have these in. We'll talk about that in a minute. Like other conifers, the growth rate is going to speed up in time. So you'll see conifers that you plant, let's say something like a green giant arborvitae, and somebody tells you it grows 3 to 4 feet a year. Well, it's not going to grow 3 to 4 feet a year in the first year. They grow a little bit, and then the next year a little bit more, and then they eventually find their way to growing 3 or 4 feet a year. It's the same thing with any conifer that you put into your garden. This one's going to have kind of a moderate growth rate, but it is very slow to start. It does not have the chlorophyll to work with that the green foliage varieties have, so it grows much, much slower. There's been a bit of an availability issue with this plant. When I talk about it on the channel, people are unable to find it as easily as some other Podocarpus, and the reason for that, it is slower for growers to grow overall. So I'm guessing that some are making the decision to not grow it because they can grow the green varieties in probably 6 to 8 months less time and get them out of the nursery. But boy, is this plant worth having. Look how incredibly showy it is. So you'll see on the tag for Podocarpus, zone 7B to 10 or 11. I think it's more zone 8, 8A and up. If you're putting them in 7B, you definitely want to do what we did here against in the Raleigh garden here, is put it up against some sort of structure to keep it out. So it's not going to be an edge of the garden kind of screening plant in zone 7 because the wind is probably going to cause it some issues. So it's more of a specimen plant in zone 7B. By the time you get into zone 8, 9, 10, you can use it as a screening plant out on the edge of your property. Ultimately, sun or shade. This one's kind of funny because Podocarpus, you're going to see sun or part shade. I have 2 of these Roman Candle Podocarpus. One is 1.5 feet tall, and it's in a bit more sun out in the front garden. And this one, planted about the exact same time, is almost double in height, and it's in full shade. And I mean full shade. And it's getting some winter sun because the sun tracks over here. During the summertime, you can see my arm up here in the sun maybe. That it gets a little bit of winter sun, but in the summertime, this plant does not take direct sun. It is a bit more of a looser form. If it was in more sun, it would be more an upright, narrow, conical shape. So it's spreading and it's stretching a bit, but it's absolutely done fine in the shade here in the Raleigh garden. So I'm going to give this a sun or shade, tighter growth habit in the sun. looser growth habit in the shade, but look what it does to brighten up the shady spot. In higher zones, if you were growing this in zone 10 or 11, with this white foliage like this, it probably would need some afternoon sun protection, so keep that in mind. This is not going to hold up as well in the deep south. The green foliage varieties much better, but anytime you get this kind of white in the top of a plant like this, it's much more susceptible to burning. Gets an insignificant flower followed by what looks like a little berry on it that is not edible. It's definitely poisonous. Don't eat it. Tons of uses for this plant. Roman candle could definitely be used as a border plant or screening plant between you and a neighbor in southern areas. Keep in mind it will grow slower than varieties like Mackie. This variegation prevents it from growing as fast, so I don't know that it's a great choice for that. I find it to be a better choice as a specimen plant. Where you're just trying to show it off in some sort of area with long shadows, or a space where you're just looking for that one plant that just contrasts beautifully with everything else. I mean, here it is next to a big leaf hydrangea. Just looks unbelievable with that. Even a small leaf evergreen like this camellia next to it. There's a calla lily next to it. All this tropical foliage things that it looks great with. Just an incredible show off in the garden here. So, you know, a part of a cottage garden. So kind of this one has a slightly more of an informal look than normal Podocarpus. They can be tree formed. So in time I could pick a central leader and tree form it if I wanted to. If it's out in a little more sun, it would be a little more formal looking, so it could go in formal gardens as well. So a lot of different uses for this plant. I don't know that it's the best one for lining up 10 to try to get a screen. I think it would frustrate you on the amount of time it will take to get to that height. In cold climates, you definitely want to put this again where it's not going to be in the winter wind. That would definitely be a problem. Needs moist, well-drained soil. You know, I could say that about 3/4 of the plants in this garden. So we've enriched this soil quite a bit here. You know, we did wood chip base, so it's kind of become compost. There are leaves from a red bud up above my head that stay in place here. We mulch over those in the spring. So this one has plenty of organic matter to work with, and it's absolutely thriving over here. These are incredibly drought tolerant once established. That's why you'll see them used as screening plants in difficult areas and coastal areas. I probably should have included coastal areas in my list of uses for this plant, because it is a salt tolerant plant as well. So really an easy stick it in the ground kind of plant and forget about it. You know, water it in until it's well established. We fertilize this garden once a year with an organic fertilizer. Probably doesn't even need that. Just an incredibly low maintenance plant. We do have the area mulched here. This is in a bit of a crowded neighborhood over here, and it's absolutely thriving within this system we've built here in the Raleigh garden. Keep in mind, if you plant things, if you buy 6 of these and you line them up, you know, to create some sort of border, and you put them 3 or 4 feet apart, the roots on them are going to be exposed to quite a bit more sun and quite a bit more heat. That's probably also going to be a contributing factor in slowing the growth down as well. You know, this one is growing much faster than the one out there that's kind of a lone wolf, you know, where it has, you know, the sun is around it and it's kind of cooking it a little bit more, and this one is growing quite a bit faster. I just love this plant. Every time we show it off on the channel, I think that, you know, people run out to buy it. Again, it's slightly harder to find, but if you do see this plant, it's definitely worth having. If you're in zone 7B to 10 or 11, I think it's worth having in whatever form you're going to do, from a container plant to specimen plant to whatever you want to do with it. That white is so striking. And this area in our garden right here, where we're getting some long shadows and, you know, interesting combinations with other foliage, it's just the standout. Everybody here on the open garden walking past it's like, you know, wow, that thing's amazing. And then they immediately get confused because the tag says it needs to go in the sun. Again, this plant grows perfectly fine in our shade garden here in Raleigh, North Carolina. So thank you so much for watching.